Ow, that hurt.
Hey there friends, Greg here. Today I'm at the National Museum of Naval Aviation in Pensacola, Florida, and there's something special here that I want to see, so let's go take a look.
This is a model of the USS Langley, which was the very first aircraft carrier, CV-1. Notice it does not have an island. And this is a scale model of the USS Intrepid, CV-11, built in 1943 for World War II. This is a depiction of what looks like the Wright brothers plane, but it says USN on the back, so I guess this must actually be a naval plane. And here is a J-35 turbojet engine from 1947. I could probably get across town in a few seconds on that thing.
I think I've discovered what my call sign is going to be. Flabby.
I could barely move in this thing. I don't know how you could fly this jet, man. Look, my legs are just very, very tightly in here. I could barely move. Look at this. This is awesome, but very, very, very small. Oh, you want to get in now? You're a lot smaller than me. You could probably fit in this a lot better than me.
This is tiny. There's
Too many buttons. Not that one. That's the ejector seat. Are you qualified to fly this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see your pilot's license.
I don't need one.
This is a big plane. Man, I didn't think these were that big. Look at this engine, it's unbelievable. How many pistons is in this thing? Let me see what this says here. The world's largest aircraft piston engine. Now here is an invisible model of the USS Kearsarge. And this is very cool because it allows you to see inside the ship and how the planes are stored underneath the deck. And this giant plane here is the PB-2Y-5R Coronado. Holy cow, this thing is huge.
And this is the plane flown by George Bush, later President Bush, back in World War II.
You know what this is, right? This is the elevator.
For the aircraft.
For the aircraft. Well, we'll take the aircraft below decks. What is this called up here?
The bridge.
But what do they call the bridge on an aircraft carrier?
The island or something?
The island, right. This is known as a PBY flying boat. This particular one did not see action in World War II. I believe it was used as a trainer instead, but then it was brought here to the Naval Museum in 1999. It's like a galley or something in this plane. It's so small, I can't imagine. This plane also has some bunks in case you need to take a nap or something. I guess the flights would have been fairly long getting from point A to point B that you might have to sleep. And this would be known as the world's first operational jet fighter, which it's a German fighter.
So this is a Japanese aircraft, but it was nicknamed George.
And here is a Japanese Zero, known as the most famous Japanese fighter of World War II.
So my son here is actually an aficionado of World War II, and he knows a lot about the airplanes here. What kind of airplane is this one above us here? What's this one called?
A Wildcat.
That's a Wildcat. And you know this because?
Magic.
Now, December 7th, 1941 is when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and that date has always had a special significance to me because it's also my birthday.
And many people would say that the Battle of Midway was the turning point in World War II for the war against the Japanese. In that battle, we put up 3 carriers to their 4 carriers, and they lost 4 carriers and we lost 1. That was a pretty big deal.
But what were the 3 carriers of ours that were at the Battle of Midway?
The Hornet, the Yorktown, and the Enterprise.
And which one did we end up losing?
The Hornet.
The Hornet, yeah.
is like an actual stairs they would use to load people onto planes. Oh, there's my wife up there. I could spend days here just looking at all of these planes. I'm telling you, this place is extremely overwhelming to see all of these planes and artifacts that they have here. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
What you see here is the Skylab 2 command module. It was launched on May 25th, 1973, stayed up in space for 28 days, and then came back to Earth on June 22nd, 1973.
And this memorial to Alan B. Shepard, who was the first American in space.
We managed to go through without losing the Jackson.
This one looks like it's straight out of the movie Alien.
Okay, behind me is the exhibit that I've been looking for. It's the exhibit for the Enterprise CV-6, the most decorated ship of World War II. She earned 19 battle stars throughout all of World War II, and if it wasn't for the Enterprise, the world would be a lot different today.
She was the first aircraft carrier in the history of the U.S. Navy awarded the Presidential Unit Citation and the most decorated ship of World War II. Such was the longevity of her service that airplanes from her deck were in the air over Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, and participated in the first raid by carrier aircraft on the Japanese home island in February 1945. Built around a stunning model of the carrier, this exhibit displays hardware from the ship, as well as personal memorabilia from the men of the Big E.
The Enterprise was the first aircraft carrier to start doing night missions, at which point she was renamed the CV-6, and N standing for night. Now, the Enterprise also went by several nicknames, including the Galloping Ghost, the Gray Ghost, the Lucky E, but probably the most well-known would be the Big E.
And this is the only porthole to survive the scrapping of the Enterprise in 1958. And this is a ready room chair. I don't want you touching this one though. And this casing is all that remains from one of the last shells fired from the forward gun mount aboard the Enterprise.
Sadly, the Enterprise did not have a glorious end. She was decommissioned in 1947 and scrapped in 1958.
And I noticed they've got the Battle 360 series playing over here on the wall. If you want to learn a lot about the Enterprise, that's the series to do it from.
USS Enterprise.
And this was the successor to the CV-6 Enterprise, the CV-65 Enterprise. And currently, she's being scrapped as well. And I don't believe the next Enterprise is set for sale until 2022, I believe, and it's going to be the CV-80.
Come on,
She
we
had
gotta
no
go
idea what
home.
she was doing.
We gotta go home.
We're going home. Okay.
Come on.
I thought you
We
said we were
are.
going home.
This is the way home.
This is the way home? Okay. Holy moly.
That's how you take a shower.
That's how you take a shower?
Yeah.
This isn't the shower. This is just somebody's quarters.
Oh, right there. The shower's
Where?
right there.
There's no shower. Oh.
You stand right here and you get the water and you
Oh, okay.
like that.
What's that? That's the store.
That's the store
Yep. That's the pawn shop.
and the pawn shop. Okay.
Oh, this is how you see your weight.
This is your weight, your scale. There's a barber shop over here. I never would have thought I'd seen this in a naval museum. It's like a town. There's like a town in here.
This is the toy store, and look what comics
There's
they
a toy
have.
store. Oh wow, look, they got Superman.
It's the first one.
That's not the first Superman.
Okay, our house is over here.
And
Bookstore.
this is the restaurant.
And there's a restaurant.
The one restaurant.
It's just called restaurant. That's a fancy name for it.
Finest steaks in town.
Finest steaks in town.
It doesn't look like they have steaks.
And here's our house. This is our house.
Porch.
This is the porch.
This is the couch.
This is our new house.
And this is the radio.
This is the
We don't have
couch,
any
the radio.
TVs or phones, so you can't have a phone in there.
So this is what it would have been like in 1940, in the 1940s, right? And then here's the kitchen.
Make them pies.
That's a pretty busy kitchen. There's a lot going on in this kitchen. I wonder if there's a ham. Looks like there's a ham over there.
Pie.
This must be Thanksgiving Day or something. There's a lot going on in this kitchen. Oh, is this like the movie theater?
Yeah.
Is that a movie seat? That would be like a movie seat, of course.
But we gotta get tickets first.
Let's get some popcorn right here.
It's pretty expensive. It's 5 cents.
5 cents for popcorn?
Yeah. Come on, you gotta get tickets for the movie.
Hello?
And 372,733 pounds of fat for the new country. And in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Find me an F-14 model.
Oh my gosh.
They got space shuttles and blackbirds and helicopters, but I haven't found a F-14 anywhere. I know it's a tank, but I'm looking for an F-14.
Do you want to take?
No, I want an F-14.
Have the tank.
Oh, this is pretty cool. An aircraft carrier toy. You see it? Do you see it? Yep, that's the one I want.
Okay, let's buy it.
I wasn't able to find an F-14 model or toy or anything, but I did find the Enterprise hat, so I'm pretty happy about that.
This is an F-18 Hornet.
Yeah. It's close to your favorite one.
Close to my favorite, yeah, being the F-14. I like the F-18s as well. We've got multiple buildings here. This one's called Hangar Bay 1. I have no idea what's in here. I'm thinking maybe aerospace stuff. So here's Marine 1. I can see Nixon inside of there. I wonder if this is Nixon's Marine 1. It says that this was used during the presidencies of Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. And there's my favorite fighter, the F-14 right over there. Some very large planes over here. And then right here is the lunar lander module. You ready to go, Maverick?
No.
How about you, Goose? You ready? Ready to fly, Goose?
And behind me is the last assembled combat F-14 ever built. It was built in 1980, and its last deployment was on September 2005.
I've always loved this jet, most of all. Maybe because of Top Gun, maybe just because it looks like an amazing aircraft. And why am I looking down the engine? Because I've never seen down the engine before. I was wondering what it looked like down here. Gotta admit, that is one of the most awesome, aggressive looking aircraft ever built. It's always amazed me how these engines, I think they kind of like expand out to, I guess, give more thrust to the engine. Okay, push that button right there. Push that button. Push that button over there. Not that one, not that one.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Hit that button.
Okay.
What happened? Nothing happened. Try a different button. Try a different one. Try
This one?
Hit that one. Hit that one. Fire missiles. Fire all missiles.
Okay.
Didn't work. This jet is known as an intruder, and they made a movie called Flight of the Intruder, and I have yet to see it. I guess I'll go see it now. And here's one of the jets from the Blue Angels. Now, this whole town is very Blue Angel friendly. I noticed on the overpass you could even see several Blue Angel depictions on the road. Now this plane is known as a Hawkeye, and it is used to do reconnaissance. You've probably seen planes like this before with that strange flying saucer above it like that. So have you figured out how to fly this one yet?
No.
I know.
Just keep pushing all the buttons. It'll take off eventually. And this is a Phantom II, also known as a MiG killer. I want to say that they used planes similar to this in the movie Top Gun as the simulations for the MiGs that Maverick was flying against. This is an A-160 Hummingbird from 1999. I guess this must be one of the earliest drones.
All right, I think that is going to conclude my day here with the family at the National Naval Aviation Museum here in Pensacola. Now, this is a free exhibit. There's no charge to come here, and it is huge. It's really, really big. So if you plan to come out, plan to spend most of the day, I guarantee it's really worth it. It's really incredible. I've only shown you just a little bit of what's actually out here. So, like I would say, the adventure is in you. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.
This is boring. Let's just leave for no reason like we did in Independence Day Resurgence.
Great idea. Let's go to Luna Park instead.